Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Jay, we got Randall, we got Michael, we got Cardinals opinion, and that's it. Woo! Man, where is everybody at? No worries. Completely understand. We are at the day before Thanksgiving. Want to just say real quick, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And hopefully everybody's going to have a fantastic time with their family. Eat a lot of food, eat a lot of turkey or whatever meat you decide to eat, chicken, turkey. I know within my family, sometimes we kind of fluctuate depending on what we want, but hopefully everybody has a fantastic holiday. We got some great football games coming our way here on Thursday. Cardinals are at the bottom of the barrel in the division yet again, where you have everybody in the division right now at 8-9 wins. And yeah, it's not fun to talk about this team, but I really want to talk about a little bit of positivity about the Cardinals offense in general. Now, yes, it's not equating to wins, so I'm not going to come out here and say, oh man, this needs to save Drew Petzing's job. No, not at all. I want to be real. I mean, this offense has looked so much better since Jacoby Brissett has taken the helm, but it hasn't equated to wins. And that is the most important thing more than anything. So has it been fun football again? It has been, right? I guess the cardiac cards has been, kind of been something that's been happening since the beginning of the year, even when Kyler Murray has been here. But it's so refreshing to know that even if we are down 3rd and 16, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 8, that there is a chance for us to convert those third downs. And with what we have going on right now with this Michael Wilson, like, who is this guy? Like, it's so crazy. We're going to be diving into him as well because it just kind of feels like something that we would never have seen unless Marvin Harrison Jr. went down. And that's a shame, man. It really is. So we're going to be talking about Michael Wilson and what he's doing right now at, the wide receiver number 1 role. Trey McBride, and what he's doing right now in this season. I mean, like I said, this offense has looked better. It's just, I don't think it's enough for us to say, oh, yeah, keep this coaching staff. Now, I know there's some people out there that believe that Jonathan Gannon should get another year because he should be able to pick his guy. I think this goes beyond just, oh, he deserves another year. To be real with you, I think that if Jonathan Gannon was much better in the division and we weren't sitting at 30 plus losses, because let's be real, we got 6 games left on the season, and he's trending to have probably upwards of like 33 losses or maybe even 34, 35 losses by the end of the season. I don't think anybody truly thinks we're going to win another game. Maybe the Falcons game. I hope we lose it because obviously the Rams have that pick, so hopefully we lose that game. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? I don't think any of these coaching staff has done enough for me right now to say, okay, I believe that you are going to be the guy in 2026, because there's a lot of factors as to why, right? Like, if you're going to be picking up, like, let's say, for example, we live in a world where Jonathan Gannon does come back, right, for the 4th year, which I think it would be a brutal mistake if I'm going to be real with you. Like, I don't think his year 3 is comparable to the year 3 of Cliff. Now, yes, were injuries a big factor this year? Yes, it was. But still, I feel like this whole season kind of went awry before the injuries really started piling up. Now, yes, our run game has been very bad, even with James Conner and Trey Benson with his one start, and then ended up getting hurt and placed on the IR. So it has been a lot of issues with the Cardinals, but the way I like to look at it is, do we trust Jonathan Gannon to get his quarterback of the future? Because that seems to be, I guess, what people are saying. Oh, we got to let him get a chance to get his quarterback, right? Let him get a chance to get his quarterback. But okay, well, if he gets his quarterback via free agency or he gets his quarterback via draft, then you're kind of signing Jonathan Gannon for a little bit longer than a year. Because right now it seems like, oh, we're just going to give you 4 years. But if you're truly going to come out here and say, oh, we want to get him his quarterback, then the other excuses start piling up. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. The Cardinals right now are 3-13 in the division. He's not been competitive in this division, and he's got 30 losses in 3 years. Like, what else do you have to say? Now, I get it. You want to have his own quarterback. You want him to pick his own guy, and you're looking at the available coaches this next year, and you're like, oh, well, anybody's, Jonathan Gannon is better than any of those guys. Are you sure? Like, are you sure, or are you just content to just ride with it because you don't want to take a risk? And, at the end of the day, it's going to be Michael Bidwell and potentially Monty Ossenfort's decision. So I don't think he should come back personally. Will he? There's still a slight chance. He doesn't really kind of, make it seem like his job is in serious danger. I know that he feels heat, but I don't know. It's all depending on Michael Bidwell at the end of the day. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. I do already see my guys saying fire Petzing. Well, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if Gannon goes, Petzing goes too. So you got to kind of cut the head at the top, right? It's like Hydra. You can't worry about the little people on the bottom. Yeah, you can't worry about the coordinators because this goes further. If Gannon goes, Petzing goes too. So there's no world where Petzing keeps his job if Gannon gets fired. So that's my thing in terms of why I feel like Gannon probably shouldn't be here. I think he's a cool person. With what I've seen, it feels like he's really cool with the locker room. It seems like players really like him. In the report card, he had an A, so players love him. But it seems like they like the message. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, he's not the coach that's going to be able to win those close games, especially in the NFC West. We've already seen Mike Macdonald be able to do it for 2 straight years. Mike Macdonald, Seahawks head coach. We've seen Kyle Shanahan do it for years. We've seen Sean McVay be able to do it for years. You need a head coach that's going to be able to stay with those big dogs. And right now, Gannon has not been able to prove that he can do that. Like I said, not my decision, but let's talk about some positivity, ladies and gentlemen, because honestly, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be here. We're at 3-8. We are at 0-4 in the division. We got 2 more games versus the Rams. And let's call it like it is. Those probably will be bloodbaths. Those probably will be bloodbaths of performances because the Rams are the hottest team right now, and I don't think we're going to get any win in the NFC West, if I'm going to be real with you. But let's talk about Michael Wilson, shall we? Let's talk about a little positivity in the air, because honestly, right now, with what we're seeing from Michael Wilson is amazing. It really is. I can tell you right now, if Marvin Harrison Jr. misses this next week, if he misses this next week versus the Bucks, I'm not going to be too worried about it because of what we've seen Michael Wilson do. He has stepped into this role gloriously, like gloriously. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. has not gotten the amount of targets that Michael Wilson has been getting. Like, we're seeing 18 targets, 15 targets to Michael Wilson in these 2-game stretch sample size. It's crazy. We've never seen that from Marvin. I think the most he's ever had was probably 11 targets, if I'm not mistaken, in a game. But that just kind of goes to show the comfortability from Jacoby and Michael Wilson. And if Kyler was here, we probably wouldn't see this. Like, let's be real. We wouldn't see the emergence of Trey, right? In terms of like all the touchdowns that he's had, we wouldn't see the emergence of Michael Wilson because 2 weeks ago, we were strongly considering, do we truly have another wide receiver on this team that's going to be complementing to Marvin, right? We all were saying that. Oh, do we really have that? Should we go after Jordan Tyson? Should we go after Cardinal Tate, right? Should we go after somebody in the first round, maybe in the second round? Now, with Michael Wilson doing these numbers, I think we can kind of sit to ourselves and say, okay, well, if we start playing this type of style, and I'm not saying coming out here saying, oh, well, Michael Wilson should take over the wide receiver number 1 role, although he's done it magnificently. I do believe right now that the Arizona Cardinals should be whoever the hell the wide receiver number 1 is in that game is going to be that wide receiver number 1 in the game, right? Game planning to do something different, because we know now that if you want to take over a game, Michael Wilson can be that guy for you. And we've seen that from a very, very good small sample size so far. Now, like I said, are we going to see Marvin Harrison Jr. versus the Bucks? Well, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinals are still in quote-unquote playoff contention. But if you lose this game versus the Bucks, if you lose this game here in Tampa Bay this next Sunday, you're eliminated from playoff contention. It's over. Now, of course, I don't think anybody's talking about playoffs right now, right? I mean, I'm not talking about playoffs. I think we're just trying to win a freaking game at this point, right? Just to kind of quote the great quote out there.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Right? we're not talking about playoffs, but I'm saying, like, if you lose this game, you're eliminated from playoff contention. You're 3-9. Now, there's no coming back from 3-8. There was no coming back from 3-7, but technically, per the numbers, you're not eliminated if you lose this Tampa game. Do I think the Cardinals are going to win this game? I don't think we will. I think somehow Baker Mayfield is going to come into this game, and even if he's not throwing the ball 35 times, Bucky Irving is coming back. So I think they're going to lean very, very heavily on that. It seems like Mike Evans might be trending in the right direction. Emeka Ibuka is looking pretty darn good and try to kind of build on his rookie career. I think that team is more complete than the Arizona Cardinals are. So I don't think we're going to win that game. So probably a 3-9. Call me pessimistic, it's fine. But honestly, right now, what I'm looking for is who's going to be the guys in 2026. Michael Wilson right now has proven that he can be that guy. He can be that guy opposite side of Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, has Marvin Harrison Jr. proved that he can be that guy at wide receiver number 1? Not right now. Not yet. Now, it's still really early in his career. He only missed 1 game last year. I think he's missed 2 games this year. I hope he comes back. But like I said, if he needs a little bit more rest from obviously the appendicitis, I think we're in good hands with Michael Wilson and Trey McBride because we got enough talent to put points up. We got enough talent to win games. The problem is that we do got lack of, I guess, smarts and coaching, and we don't have the ability to get over the hump. We can't win close games. That's with Kyler or even Jacoby. We cannot win close games, and it's proven. We've lost every which direction so far this season. An OT, 1-score possessions, by field goals 3 straight times. Like, it's just been a mess of a season so far. And we lost to the freaking Tennessee Titans. So, for what it's worth, that probably was what broke the Arizona Cardinals in 2025. Losing to the Tennessee Titans, Amari DiMercato ended up dropping the ball at the end zone. That's what broke this season. But for what positivity that we have going on, Michael Wilson is that positivity. And he's looked so damn good. It looks so effortless that what he's done and stepping into this wide receiver number 1 role. So one thing I want to say is that Drew Petzing for this 6 games, I'm not talking about in 2026, but when Marvin comes back, you need to make it a thing that you need to make sure you get this guy the ball still. Enough of this, you're going to get 11 yards in a game. Enough of this, you're going to get 16 yards a game. No, enough of that BS. Enough of it. Because I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not, what we have seen so far from Michael Wilson in these last 2 games is damn amazing. Let's take a look at it, right? If you don't believe me, look what Michael Wilson was averaging, right? In terms of yardage, receptions, targets in the first 5 games of the season, right? This is where Kyler Murray's last game was in Tennessee, right? So let's focus on these ones and then we'll move forward. Look what Michael Wilson's target share, yardage, and receptions were. It's not good. Not good at all. Week 1, 5 yards, 4 targets, 1 reception. Week 2, 1 reception, 2 targets, 11 yards. San Fran, 1 reception, 2 targets, 5 yards. Seahawks, 3 receptions, 6 targets, 15 yards. Tennessee, 2 receptions, 4 targets, 16 yards. Now, we've seen an uptick of production since Jacoby has taken the helm, right? And this is even with Marvin Harrison Jr. here. Marvin Harrison Jr. was playing in Indianapolis. He was playing in Green Bay. He was playing in Dallas. And he also played in the Seahawks. He did not play in these 2 games, right? He did not play in San Fran, and he did not play in Jacksonville. Look what Michael Wilson has done since Jacoby Brissett has taken the helm. 4 receptions, 5 targets, 44 yards. Green Bay, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 4 targets, 40 yards. Dallas, 3 receptions, 4 targets, 61 yards. Seahawks, everybody had a struggling game on this one. So he kind of took a little bit of aggression back, right? But targeted 7 times, 4 targets, and 34 yards. This was the game that we targeted Marvin Harrison Jr. so many times. And unfortunately, he only caught the ball like 3 or 4 times. But he was targeted like double digits. He had a bad game. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a bad game. San Fran, 15 receptions, 18 targets, 185 yards. Jacksonville, 10 receptions, 15 targets, 115 yards. Look at the difference in yardage we're seeing here. Now, yes, opportunity is a big thing as to why he's here, right? Opportunity is a massive thing as to why he's here. But I remember very, very vividly that I said that what I need to see from Michael Wilson to prove that if you are going to be wide receiver number 2 for the Cardinals, you need to be a 700, 800 yard type of receiver. That's what you need to be going into your year 4, right? That's what we need to see as Cardinal fans. If you want to be that wide receiver number 2 on this team, you need to prove that you can go past 500 yards. And guess what? Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. In 2023, he had 565 yards, and he played in 13 games. In 2024, 16 games, 548 yards. So far in 11 games, with Jacoby Brissett not playing all 11, but bear with me here, he has 534 yards. He is on pace to hit that mark that I wanted him to hit. 700, 800 yards to be that wide receiver number 2 for the Arizona Cardinals. He could potentially be that dude, right? Now, yes, the touchdowns aren't following suit. That probably will come with more, obviously, chemistry and more reps with Jacoby and him. But this is amazing, man. This is really, really good. I love what I've seen from Michael Wilson. It's actually really, it's awesome, man. It's so cool. I'm proud of him. I really am. Now, we're going to talk about this Arizona Cardinals offense in a nutshell right now because the offense has gotten better. The numbers of the offense has gotten better. Now, yes, it's not equating to wins, and that is a bigger thing. I agree. Wins are much more important than stats, at least to me. But the offense has gotten so much better. I kid you not. The offense has taken off. The Cardinals were flirting around the 28, 29, 25 mark when it comes down to total offense, passing, whatever, what have you, right? That's where the Cardinals were averaging. That's where they were. Guess what? Now that we're kind of seeing the new quarterback and the new, and it might be because the Cardinals are playing from behind, so they got to air it out, and they're running the ball a lot less. That could definitely very well be a factor as to why, but it is crazy to see this offense take off the way that it has. Let's go ahead and do a real quick screen share of my screen. Shout out here to Fox Sports for obviously providing this. Let's go ahead and first start off with total offense. The Arizona Cardinals right now are sitting at 15. 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we were around the bottom 20s. We were down here with the Jets, the Steelers, the Vikings, the Raiders. We were down here. We were not doing very well at all. But right now in total offense, we're sitting at number 15. Pretty solid. Let's move on over to the passing offense. Number 10. Number 10 right now in passing offense. Insane. Now, rushing offense, this is kind of where we were, and we're probably still going to stay around right here. We're at 25. That hasn't changed. This is bad. This is horrible. And this has been this bad since the beginning of the season. The running attack has been so darn horrible for the Arizona Cardinals. And that's unfortunately even when James Conner was here. James Conner went down. Trey Benson took the helm for one game, and he got hurt. This running attack has been putrid. And this is kind of where we've been all season long. Even when Kyler was there and Jacoby. The run game is probably not going to get fixed by the end of the year. You got 6 games left. Are you going to fix it? Doubt it. You can't fix it with Michael Carter. You can't fix it with Bam Knight. You can't fix it with Amari DiMercado. You just can't. So this is where the Cardinals are. Scoring offense. Not 18 right now. Not the best. You're kind of a little over the mid of the pack, right? You're all right. But we were down here. So we'll take the leap. Red zone offense. 19. Like I said, kind of middle of the pack. A little further back from the middle of the pack. But it is what it is. Third down of offense. Number 5. We're converting that bad boy pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Number 5, we're ranked. Pretty solid. So this offense, for what it's worth, is taking off. And I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, Petsy needs to keep his job. No, hell no. Hell no, he doesn't need to keep his job. But what I'm saying is that this offense looks so much, I guess, more cohesive, more functionable. Now, situationally, That still irritates me, but that's been irritating me since the beginning of the season. That's one of the things I do not like about Petzing. Situationally, play calling, situationally, things that he's doing specifically in games that I'm not the biggest fan of. His offense is working. Passing game is working. Run game, not working. But that's going to be the big question out here. The offensive line has been terrible. The run game has been terrible. It's been bad. So, honestly, I think right now the Cardinals are not in the worst spot. Okay, let me try to phrase this in a sense that it would try to make sense, because you're probably going to say, well, if you think that we're close, now keep in mind, I'm not saying we're close, that we're Super Bowl contenders, because hell no, we're not close to Super Bowl contention. Hell, we're not even close to be a deep playoff team. I'm saying we're close to be a competent team. We're close, and I get it. Jonathan Gannon says we're close. It makes me mad because honestly, from a coach saying that and you're not giving me results, that's going to get me mad. But what I'm saying is that these pieces that we have right now, I think we can definitely very well in 2026 not be this bad that we were, right? Now, I think coaching is a big factor. We need to have a better coach to kind of put us in better situations. I think we're seeing Michael Wilson emerge into becoming that wide receiver number 2. Hell, borderline wide receiver number 1. You got Trey McBride. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., which is only going to get better if we do get Michael Wilson involved and actually give him a fair chance and fair crack of, if you're open, you're getting the ball and we're not forcing it over to Marv. Because let's be real, right now with the 2-year sample size, or a little less than 2 years, is Marvin Harrison Jr. what we thought he was going to be? No, he's not. But he's still a capable wide receiver. Can he develop to be that guy? Well, there's still time. There's still time. I'm not out on Marvin Harrison Jr. I still think he was the 4th overall pick for us, but it is what it is at this point, right? I like what I've seen from Michael. I think we got some very capable wide receivers. You got one of the best tight ends. And what we need to do is focus on that O-line, bring in some more guys, maybe via free agency, maybe draft somebody in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd round that you can bring in here. Or hell, maybe you give the opportunity over back to Isaiah Adams. Maybe Isaiah Adams' light bulb finally clicks. Because let's be real, although we all were excited to see Mijo back, we were excited to see Will Hernandez back, he ain't it. He ain't it. And I was clamoring about bringing in Kelvin Beachum back. He's struggling too. Jonah Williams ain't that great, but Kelvin Beachum's struggling too. So we need to somehow find a way to get at least, and I'm saying at least because obviously you need more, at least 2 more pieces on that O-line. At least 2 more pieces on that O-line. At least this offseason. You get a capable running back. You get a quarterback you can develop behind Jacoby. Because right now it feels like Kyler is going to be gone. I know, I read the comments. There's some people holding hope that Kyler A is coming back, and then B, Kyler Murray can be the quarterback in 2026. Whatever the Cardinals decide to do, I think they should start thinking of the future. And right now, just like I feel about Jonathan Gannon, he's not the future for the Cardinals. Kyler's not the future for the Cardinals. Will he be the quarterback for the Cardinals in 2026? There's still a slight sliver of chance. Is Jonathan Gannon, could he be a head coach for the Cardinals next year in 2026? There's still a slight sliver of chance that they can't be those guys. They're just not the future. They're not the guys that are going to be sustained, the 10-year milestone type guys. They're not those guys. They're not. So I would rather rip off the Band-Aid and just kind of move off. That's just my personal preference, but let's see what Michael Bidwell decides to do. And let's be real, Michael Bidwell has all the answers, right? He's very, very smart in all these type of things. Just joking. He's obviously not smart, but that's what I would do if I was the one in charge of this whole situation. So, one thing I think it would be really cool, I don't know what Kyler Murray's trade value is, but I feel like if you don't trade away Kyler and you actually decide to release him, I feel like that would be an epic failure of proportions. I feel like that would be an epic failure of proportions if the Cardinals just flat out release Kyler. Now, I understand the contract is big. I get that. I'm not coming out here and saying, oh, you should be able to get 2 first-round picks for Kyler. No, I think realistically, maybe a 2nd round, maybe a 3rd round is probably realistic. But even then, you're probably going to have to pay a good majority of that money. That's just the way that it is. You're going to have to find a team that's willing to give you or willing to give you draft compensation, but you're also going to have to work out a deal to say, okay, we're going to pay this portion of his contract this year, and we're trading him over to you. And if the money is right, it just takes two to tango. That's it. If they're willing to do it, move off, and let's see if we can start developing a new young guy that's going to have a very small cap hit that we're able to allocate other money in the future years to other parts of this team to help keep him upright, to keep an offensive, run attack that we haven't had in 2025. So let's see. I got my guy Big in the chat saying, who do you think the coach will be? Well, right now, the coach is going to be JG. Right now, it's JG. Until he gets fired, I did release a video yesterday about potential head coaching candidates that people are talking about, right? Like all the rumors out there that are kind of swirling around the NFL. And let's be real, when you're hitting the end of November, you're hitting December, people are already mocking up or like lighting up the mock drafts. People are already talking about, the next potential head coaches. I already have a video live on the channel right now under the videos tab about coaches that could potentially be available and could be potentially be hot names heading into the 2026 offseason. So if you want to check it out, check it out. It's already live on the channel. But right now it's JG. I don't want him to be the guy in 2026, but right now it's JG. I don't know what Monty or Michael Bidwell is waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for us to be completely out of playoff contention, which it will happen if we lose this weekend. Maybe that's what they're waiting for, or maybe they're just waiting for Black Monday. I don't know. But as of right now, we're just playing the waiting game, right? Right now, we're just playing the waiting game when it comes down to who will be the coach. But there's rumors out there. There's rumors that JG can still be the guy for the Cardinals, which I don't know if I can get on board with that, but it's not my decision at the end of the day, right? Not my decision at the end of the day. Javi in the chat says, Dable and McCarthy won't come. Dable will want to wait if the Bills OC gets a head coach, and then Dable will go back to the Bills. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors right now about a lot of Bills fans out on the current regime and out on the current OC. So for what it's worth, there could be a lot of turnover. And believe it or not, guys, there's people out there talking about potentially firing Matt LaFleur. Yes, potentially firing Matt LaFleur and potentially firing Mike Tomlin. Yes, believe it or not, there's some people out there talking about that. So right now, the video that I just released, those are just predicated on guys that could be available right now. This offseason, in 2 months or in a month and a half from now, that can change. That can change like this. So I'm excited to see the turnover. I'm excited to see who could be available because there's some people out there that believe that Matt LaFleur is fighting for his job, which is crazy to me, but I get it. Different organizations have different expectations, right? Unlike us. We just want to win a damn game. That's all we're looking for, just to win a freaking game. Rando in the chat says Walter Nolan is already ruled out. I mean, I'm not surprised. Very, very unfortunate. Yep, I'm seeing that right now. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Ring the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news dropping in the world of the Arizona Cardinals. And yes, you heard it here from the chat first. Seems like Jonathan Gannon took to the media, and we're seeing the report here from Josh Weinfuss saying Cardinals defensive lineman Walter Nolan III will not play this weekend against the Bucs. Jonathan Gannon said today. Yeah, it's the truth of the nature, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of where we're at right now as a Arizona Cardinals organization. Every single week there's something different. Like all the massive news we get all the massive videos that we get, oh, big news. It's all predicated on injuries. It's unfortunate. It really is. But Walter Nolan not being available to play is unfortunate because that's kind of what we got going for us, right? We want to see these young guys. We want to see Will Johnson. We want to see Walter Nolan because that gets us excited for the future. You don't have your first round pick out there. Now we're all concerned about can you stay healthy, right? Now we're concerned of can you stay healthy? It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's where we're at, right? It's where we're at right now with the state of this team. It feels like we're definitely going to be somewhere in the top 5. I hope we are. I hope we are. I hope we're going to be in the top 5 of the NFL draft. But we'll see. All right, let's keep it with the chat here. Appreciate what Josh Weinfitz here for putting it out. First place I ended up seeing it, unfortunately. Um, let's go ahead and continue the conversation. We got my guy Javi in the chat says, "Fire Gannon. We need an experienced coach who made the playoffs and won titles and ships." I'm assuming you want Mike McCarthy, which at this point I'm cool with. It is what it is at this point. I think it's time, man. It's time to rip it off like a band-aid. It's time to rip it off like a band-aid. Is it Eli? What's up, Eli? Oh, I feel like this chat's gonna break my heart, but it's all good. Let's read it. Eli in the chat saying this. I'm done being positive about this dumpster fire of a team. Haven't watched a game in the last 4 weeks. Will not watch another game until something changes. Suns D-backs will be the only AZ teams. Wow. I mean, this is where fans feel, though. Like, I don't blame you one bit, Eli, for feeling this way. Obviously, appreciate you for tuning in. You know, I know there's not a lot of Cardinal fans, and there's a lot of Cardinal fans that feel the way you do. There is. I kid you not. Every podcast, we used to average about 150 viewers on these morning shows, at least. And of course, if the Cardinals won on the Mondays, used to be like 200, 300. People are so out of tune with this team right now that I don't blame you one bit, man. I don't blame you one bit for feeling the way that you're feeling. Because every week there's something different. Every week there's something different with this organization that at this point, who cares? I mean, I'm really just talking about him because it's my job. It's my job to cover him, right? So, but yeah, man, I've had moments too. I've had moments too that I'm like, damn, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? So we'll see, man. We'll see exactly what happens. We'll see exactly what happens here for the Arizona Cardinals. But overall, man, we'll see. Michael Wilson's talent is going to be wasted. Well, Michael Wilson, here's another fascinating thing, right? We talked about Michael Wilson a little earlier. Michael Wilson is a third round pick. Let's not forget he's a third round pick, right? So what does that mean? The 5th-year option is only for first round picks. So right now, we got Michael Wilson signed for one more year, and that's in 2026. One more year. Being a third round pick does that for us. Now, what will the Cardinals do? I'm not coming out here saying you need to extend Michael Wilson, but that does give us a little bit of a luxury, right? Especially if Michael Wilson can continue to finish the season off strong. That gives us a little bit of luxury because what we're paying Michael Wilson is peanuts compared to what Marv or any other big time wide receiver is getting paid. We got to take advantage of that. You got to take advantage of that. Mr. Cardinals in the chat saying, place your bets. Petzing returns next year. You think? You think? My guy in the chat here is saying that injuries will be the cop out. That would be insane. And for a lot of people that have already turned off on this team, that probably will make a lot more people turn off away from this team. because something big needs to change. Something big needs to change when it comes down to this organization. Something needs to change. And if they do use that as a cop out, that would be the most pathetic, gutless thing I've seen Michael Bidwell done in a very long time. And it proves that he's not really for winning. That proves it. It proves he's not willing to win. Because if you bring him back in year 4 and you use the cop out, that it's injuries, that would be very, very gutless. Jonathan Gannon is 3 for 13 in the NFC West. Trending to be 3 for 15. Let's be real. We have 2 more Rams game. We ain't beating the Rams. We are not beating the Rams. He's probably going to be 3 for 15 by the end of the year. And he's got 30 losses so far in his tenure of being a head coach. 30. 3-0. 15 wins, 30 losses. Trending to potentially be 33, 34, 35 losses in his career. If the Cardinals give him one more year after all that mess and blames it on injuries, that'd be absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. But I can definitely very well see Michael Bidwell do some BS like that. Ian in the chat says there's no shot Drew Petzing keeps his job next season. I mean, if JG goes, Petzing goes. If JG goes, Nick Rallis probably will go too. Like, let's be real. Let's be real here. So at this point right now, all we got to do as Cardinal fans, all we have to really kind of look forward to is Michael Wilson's games, right? Trey McBride, and see what Jacoby Brissett can do. Hopefully he can stay upright because Jacoby Brissett is getting punished back there. He's getting punished back there. Hit so many times, sacked so many times because this putrid offensive line. It's putrid. But Gannon, I don't think he should come back, personally. But not my decision. Not my decision. Naeem in the chat says, man, I was shocked that Walter Nolan got his first NFL pick 6. That should have been counted as an interception. But whatever. They're calling it a forced fumble recovered by Walter. That's what they ended up tallying it at. And regardless, it is what it is, right? He still got the touchdown regardless. But I think that should have been an interception. I know the ball was going a certain direction, whatever. But they're calling it a forced fumble recovered by Walter and touchdown by Walter. That's what they're calling it. But now guess what? Walter Nolan has already been rolled out. Walter Nolan's already been rolled out. Per Jonathan Gannon earlier this morning, Walter Nolan has already been ruled out for the Buccaneers game. So for what it's worth, what we wanted, right? What we were excited to see and what we only really have excitement to see is these young guys. We can't see our first round pick. So we'll see. Jay in the chat says, I'd be fine with sticking with Gannon only if he fires Petzing and only if LaFleur doesn't become available and wants to come here. I mean, Matt LaFleur, right? Yeah, I mean, I would like LaFleur. I think LaFleur would be cool. I mean, obviously, it takes the Green Bay Packers to have a meltdown and for him to get let go or fired. My stipulations are you keep Gannon. If Petzing goes, okay, I'm cool with that. But also, the word is that you want to pick your own guy. Okay, well, pick your guy. You can't run it back with both. You can't run it back with Kyler and Gannon. You can't. You cannot do it. I don't want Gannon back. I really don't. But if the Cardinals decide to do it, I think it would be a bloody mistake. But if they decide to do it, let's let them learn from their lessons that they haven't learned from since I've been doing this podcast. I've always been saying the Cardinals should do this. They do the complete opposite. And unfortunately, we know the results. Naeem in the chat says Jacoby Brissett versus Teddy Bridgewater should be a fun game. Is that been confirmed? Is Baker Mayfield not playing? Right now, I don't think it's confirmed that Baker Mayfield is not playing. Yeah, I don't think it's confirmed that Baker Mayfield isn't playing. I think he'll find a way to play. I think he'll find a way to play. I could be wrong. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Ian Rappaport 2 hours ago said Baker Mayfield has a chance this week. Ian Rappaport says Baker Mayfield has a chance this week. I think he'll find a way to play. Even if they're not throwing the ball down the field, they're probably going to depend on Bucky Irving coming back. He's a tough guy, man. He's a, like I said, like Mr. Cardinal says, Baker's a dog. He'll find a way to get back on the field. I'm pretty certain he's going to play. And that's just always speculation. I don't have any sources or anything, but even Ian Rappaport 2 hours ago saying Baker Mayfield has a chance to play. He has a chance this week. And if he does, obviously, they beat us a lot more than if Teddy Bridgewater's playing. But even if Teddy Bridgewater's playing, I don't know. I just don't have the confidence that this organization can win, man. I really don't. I don't think they know how to win. So it is what it is. Baker's gonna, and not just that. We're actually going over there. We're going to the East Coast and playing on their time and on their turf. That ain't going to be a good look for the Cardinals. So we had DDR in the chat saying if the Bucs are smart, they'd sit Baker. No point risking hurting him more against one of the worst teams in the league. Yes, but you can also look at it as one of the worst teams in the league. Pressure-wise, we don't do very good. Now, yes, we got after Lawrence, pretty solid. But like, it's not like we have Jared Verse or like, yeah, we got Josh Sweat, but like literally it's just Josh Sweat. And on top of that, we don't have Walter Nolan. Darius Robinson, he's getting better. Like, he's not the first round talent he thought we was going to be, but he's getting better. But we don't have this crazy defense that we should be worried. I think if he does come back, that race within the NFC South is so close that they might play him. They might just play him. But it's up to them, obviously. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Ian says Bucs need this win too. So they don't want to give up you need to win this game. If he can go, he's probably going to go, and they're going to depend on the run game a lot. That's probably what's going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see. T-Rob makes me sad. Yep. Unfortunately, makes me sad too. GTO. Let's go GTO. Let's do one more comment, and then we're going to be closing up shop. I want to get to the JG's presser, and I want to kind of hear what he has to say. But let me get to this last comment. GTO in the chat says, coaches aren't the problem. Neither are the receivers. The O-line sucks. Put Kyler in when healthy because he won't last till the end of the season. Put Kyler in when healthy. The O-line does suck. The O-line sucks, and the run game is not very good. So you're saying run Kyler back next year in 2026? I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I really don't. But I could be wrong. Agree. 100% agree, John. They just got BTA by the Rams. They need this win, bro. I agree. I think they're going to run it back. I think they're going to run it in with Baker, and they're going to make us pay. The game plan won't be Baker Mayfield throw the ball 35 times. It probably will be we're going to run on the head, lean on the run game, and we're going to have them throw it 20, 22 times. And I think that should be enough for them to win. Emeka, Buka, Mike Evans, the run game, Baker, I think it's a success for them. I think the O line is bad. I think the coaching is bad too. I think it's an accumulation of a lot of different things, unfortunately. Let's do this. Let me go and give a real quick shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're going to go ahead and close up shop. Did you guys see? Adam Schefter came out 2 minutes ago and said that obviously we all know that the Bills are signing Brandon Cooks, right? But it seems like they're actually releasing Elijah Moore now. Elijah Moore was a guy that I wanted the Cardinals to end up going after. He has not been great, so I'm kind of glad they didn't. That was one I got wrong. That was one I got wrong. Elijah Moore, I thought it was going to be a lot better with Josh Allen, but that's one I definitely got wrong. They're releasing Elijah Moore. The Bills are, and they're signing Brandon Cooks. So good for them. Good for them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop right here. Let me go ahead and do a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, the guys that are keeping the lights on. That's going to be none other than Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, and receiving yards, and fantasy points, and more for up to 100 times the payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. Everything will be in the description below of the video. And on top of that, you will be getting a $20 entry, just like that, by using my promo code. No deposit needed. Make sure you check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. And another thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys weren't here in the beginning of the season, or sorry, in the beginning of the stream, I'm sorry. If you weren't here in the beginning of the stream, hopefully everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. Eat a lot of food, watch a lot of football, or just do what makes you happy, man. Because the Cardinals right now are not doing what makes us happy. We ain't winning. So hopefully you guys having a blessed, great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody has a fantastic rest of their day. We're closing up shop right here. You guys are all amazing. Appreciate you for tuning in. I know it's not a good season, but thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys later. Happy Thanksgiving. Later.